And it's not always about money, you know. There's times where you can just give your time, give your knowledge, spread that little bit of happiness wherever you can. Just do your little bits.
Welcome, guys, to another episode of Bigger Than the Hustle podcast, a space where I bring you real conversation with entrepreneurs about life outside business. We deep dive into the energies, the insights, the mindsets and the disciplines that go into running business and how they live their life, which makes them better in their business. Now, today, I've got a real old friend with me. His name's Hitesh, and I've known him since I've been back in Leicester, which has been a long time. We grew up together, we hung around the street corners together, and I've seen him grown and become the person he is today. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Hitesh. Hey, Hitesh.
Hi, Bhavik. How you doing, mate?
All good, man.
All right.
Good. So if you can tell the listeners about you, a short little introduction, then we can go into the conversations.
Yeah, so like Bhavik said, we've grown up together. We knocked around at school together. We worked together. We learnt the hard way running our businesses together. So I'm a massage therapist, and we've been doing that since about 2000. Yeah, so a good almost 20 years now.
And I think you're being a little bit sort of light with what you do, because I know you obviously you say a massage therapist, and that's probably how you started your business, and that's probably how you sort of introduce yourself to it. But there's so much more you do, right?
Oh yeah, so it's not like your normal everyday massage. We work with a lot of hardcore injuries. So we work with a lot of sports people who've been in accidents, people who've fallen off scaffolding. So a lot of muscle damage kind of injuries. So we try and get them rehabilitated. That's just the one little starting part of it. And then it's all the education part of how to continue getting better. That's my passion, how to get people better and continue to keep better and to prevent stuff from happening as well.
Perfect. Now, do you know, if we just rewind back to the, back in the day when you decided that, you know what, this is something that may be of interest to me. Do you know what I mean? At that point, it's probably just thought, I like this kind of thing. So if you can just go back to this early days of when you started to massage, was it actually massage you started, or was it other things you did and then you decided to move into this?
All right, so I didn't even want to do this at all. I didn't even have a thought of doing this until I was 14 years old. I had a skiing accident. Through that skiing accident, the doctors told me you probably never walk again. You're going to be in a wheelchair. You probably have to be in bed, these special beds and stuff. And in my head, something just clicked that said, no, that's not right. My body is going to get better. I will heal. And it's been a long journey since then. So I had like a massage, I had cupping, I had acupuncture, I had a whole range of like these holistic treatments that made me a little bit better. So from 14 to I'd say about 19, 20 years old was my training time, because having these treatments and all the different therapists I spoke to, whatever they said kind of like stuck in my head. Whereas when I was at school, sitting in front of the maths teacher and Mr. Golding going, this is algebra, this is x, y squared, and none of that stuck in my head. It was like, it just didn't make any sense to me. Whereas practically my hands were doing stuff was like what really got me thinking about working with my hands. And when these guys were just talking to me how your body works, how muscles react, how your body repairs itself, all of that kind of flooded into my mind and just stuck in there. And even then, I didn't realize that I could do this as a living. I just thought, you have to be like super clever. You have to be like a doctor kind of level to be able to help other people. But through that knowledge just being imparted upon me through my treatment, whenever my friends and family members had aches and pains, I'd be like, oh, to get rid of that backache, you just need to do X, Y, and Z exercises, to make your neck more aligned. You have to do these kind of exercises. So I had that knowledge coming through. Oh, sorry, someone just called in. Had that knowledge coming through, and I just kind of just using it to help people. And they were like, why don't you become a therapist and just do this properly? And I still in my head, it's that small mindset of like, oh no, you got to be really good to do this kind of thing. Like, you know, you got to be really educated. But then, well, yeah, one day, fate had it. I had a really cushy job at BT after leaving school, like we all did, right? But we got made redundant and went to the job centre. And they said, well, rather than you being on the dole, I don't know if they still call it that nowadays, but rather than being on the dole, why don't you train and we'll pay for your training to do a course. You can be an electrician, you can be a plumber, bricklayer, all that kind of stuff. And all that kind of stuff didn't it didn't interest me. So I said, look, my friends think I should be a therapist or a massage therapist. And the guy's like, are you sure? We never had anybody that wants to do massage therapy. He goes, let me go ask my manager. And the manager was like, same thing, like, are you sure you want to do that? That's like a girl's job, isn't it? I said, I don't want to do like the beauty side. I want to like really fix people. He goes, well, if you can find a course, we'll see if we can do this. Now, this is how amazing the universe or fate or God has it. I walked out that center, the job center in Charles Street, and I bumped into one of the girls I used to go college with, and she had a prospectus for Southfields College. She goes, I'm going to do hairdressing at Southfields College. I was like, do they do massage there? She goes, I don't know, let's look in here. Looked in there, they had a massage therapy course. I said, can I just go into the job center with this for like literally 2 minutes and show them? And they were like, went in. They're like, wow, that was quick. So he goes, hold on, let me go ask my manager. The manager came back and he goes, look, we don't mind paying for this course, but you're going to have to contribute towards it. I was like, oh, how much is it? So he goes, oh, we're willing to pay, I think it was like £400 and the course was $415. So he goes, you're going to have to pay the £15. I was like, okay.
The whole 15. The whole 15.
The whole £15. So literally they paid for the course. I did the course and it was a year's course. But in that year, I found I kind of knew more than what their course was teaching. They're teaching me like the academic skills and like the theory, the physiology and everything else behind it. But the technical part, that, you know, using your hands and stuff, I was like, oh my God, the techniques that I was using, because I learned from these professionals from back in the day, were so far advanced. So when I started busting them out with the other participants on the course, the teacher was like, oh my God, you're so good. And that kind of like boosts your confidence that, you know, you are doing something right. So yeah, did that for a year, and then I was just like working for people here and there after that, because I still thought in my head, can this actually be a business? Can this actually pay my bills? Because I always had that fear of like, oh no, what if like nobody comes? And I think you, Lena, and everybody else who like kind of just helped me get through this. So like working with you guys, you just kind of imparted like, you know what, if you don't try, you're never going to know. And what's the worst that could happen, right? You can go back to like stacking shelves in, you know, Asda or Sainsbury's. I mean, that's fine. But if you don't try this, you never know how far it's going to take you. And I think that's when what you guys really helped me with.
And I think, you know, exactly in terms of most people's journeys are probably similar to mine as well, where we don't actually know, you know, you just, at that point, it's just an idea. Let me give it a go. And because the risk is so low at that point, you know, we've learned something, we might have a little understanding of something. Let me just give it a go. And if it, you know, worst comes to worst, it don't happen, then I'll just go and get a course and I'll do something else anyway, right? And it's never planned out that way, is it? You know, you never wrote a business plan to say, you know, next 5 years is going to be like this and this, how much money I'll take. It's more a case of, let's just start and give it a go and see if anyone comes, and if they do. And it's always interesting, the first person, you know, and you're like, I'll help. And I think we always see it as just helping people, you know, we'll help people. And, you know, if we get paid, we get paid. And if not, it's fine. And that's how I think a lot of things start. And then eventually, so at some point, there's a tipping point where you're like, actually, this is something real now, you know, whether that's 1 month, whether that's 1 year, whether that's 5, whatever it is, at some point you think, actually, people are coming to me because of the skill I have or because of the person I am. And now I can convert that into, you know, paying for things maybe, or you know, or the money seems to be a byproduct of what I do, but I really enjoy what I do. So, you know, it's a bonus.
Like you said, it really is. You got to find what you like to do. Like we love doing what we do. And, you know, if you get paid for it, it's an even better bonus because you don't have to go and look for what they term a proper job. You know, when I started, people be like, yeah, you should find a proper job, mate. Like, and now it's like, they're the ones that come to you and say, oh, mate, thanks for sorting my back out. So my, you know,
100%.
bits and bobs out. But like I say to everybody, you know, get a lot of people who want to say, oh, I want to be as successful as you. I said, you know what? You don't know what my success is. Because my success is waking up being just happy. You don't care about the money or living in a grand house or whatever. Whatever you term your success, that's entirely up to you because everybody has a different definition of it. But in terms of like, you're asking to get so many clients, it's simply because the first client you do, you treat them with the most love, respect, and give them your all from your heart, because people will pick up your heart energy rather than what you say with your voice. You know, I see people saying all the right stuff, you know, when you watch other people's videos and that, but you can tell they're just like clock watching, right? Oh, another hour done, man. That's another 50 quid in my pocket. See you later, kind of. Whereas we're like, you know what? Let's get you fixed. Let's get, you know, what your issues are, because a lot of the times the issues that people turn up with aren't necessarily the issues that they need dealing with straight away. You know, they might have a back pain, but it might be, all right, are you sat at your desk properly? We need to adjust that. Are you doing your stretching exercises properly? No, all right, let's adjust that. You know, they might have been to like 20 other therapists before they get to you. But I'm like, what did you do with them? What did you learn? What did you, what did you implement? And a lot of the times they were like, oh, they just told me just do this. I said, but did you do this? What time did you do it? How often did you do it? And because they're not getting that consistency from the therapist that they've been to see previously, because, you know, therapists know, like, if you don't do your work at home, you're going to keep coming back. You know, that's extra, another week's money, you know, might see for 10, 20 weeks. Whereas if you fix them straight away, they ain't going to come back because they're fixed, but they'll always remember you. I have clients from back in the day, from 20 years ago, that are still recommending people to say, oh, you know what, this guy fixed my back. And so, yeah.
And
what the seed that you plant, it's an oak tree, a slow growing tree, right? But somewhere down the line, you collect that harvest. Don't go for the quick fix. Go for the long-term gains, man. That's what I tell people.
And I think, you know, from what you said there, something I've said in previous episodes is that the world needs to see a guy who cuts your grass with passion. They don't need to see another doctor. A guy, you know, the world needs to see someone else who builds your wall with immense, you know, clarity with the way you want it, not another dentist. And that's where the, you know, having faith and belief in ourselves comes in, but also not conforming to society's version of success. You know, if you feel like, you know what, my dad wants me to be an accountant, but what I want to do is be a stand-up comedian. The world needs to see you as a stand-up comedian, because that's where you're going to throw your energy the most, and that's where people are going to feel you the most. You can sit behind a desk and be an accountant, be miserable, and everyone around you will be miserable because you're miserable, you know? And then you come home miserable, and everyone in at home will be miserable, and everyone will be fed up of you. Whereas if you then got up on that stage and you made people laugh, that's what the world needs to see. And I, you know, even with young people now, because we are now second generation. Hitesh is second generation. I'm second generation. So what we have that our parents necessarily didn't have is the opportunity of choice. We have the choice to live our life the way we want because of the hard work they put into their lives. You know, they grafted and just did what they had to do. Now I feel almost like we need to step up as a generation to say, you know what? We now need to create the world in our eyes. We need to see what's, you know, people need to see around us, which is fulfilled people having a life of love and doing a career that is not seen as a job. It's seen as giving service. And if you give service in the right way, then you'll give service all your life till the last days. It's never seen as a job. What do you reckon?
Yeah, you never see it as a job, you know. When people say, oh, you know, what do you do for work? I was like, well, like I said, the term is a massage therapist, but yeah, I don't see it as well. I just see it as like, yeah, when you, the greatest gift I get, when people come in and, you know, you can see pain on people's faces, you can see like hurt. And when they leave and they've got that twinkle in their eye and they're happy and they're smiling, that kind of resonates in your heart. That's like an amazing thing to feel. And I see that with, like, you know, I have clients who are artists, and when they've done their work, and they've, given, they sold their paintings, and people like see it with that same kind of passion. Or someone who does, baking cakes, for example, and other people see it and they're like so happy. That's one point when you've made another human being feel that great, that happy, that wonderful. You just feel amazing. And like you said, it's amazing that, we stand on the shoulder of giants. Our parents came from literally earning nothing back home, earning peanuts here, but they put a roof over our heads. They forced us to go to school to do better than they did. Yeah. And we saw it as hard. But now when you look back at it, we're like, do you know what? We're so grateful that they pushed us, and they probably wanted us to do like, become a doctor or an accountant, that kind of stuff. But they're still happy that we became who we are. And we're lucky that we live in this country, that we can, literally explore so many different avenues and be who, I don't know if you believe in God or the universe or whatever our hearts created us to be. So yeah, we're just gonna be truly grateful that we are on the shoulder of our parents. And like you said, we've got to push the next generation to say, right, you know what? We're not stopping here. We're going to take you even further. Because if in one generation we've come this far, imagine how far the next generation is going to take us.
And I
it's
think
just amazing to be part of it.
Being part, living in this country, what I've found is that because we're born here, so we have the blessing of an Indian culture and all the foundation, the roots of that, but also the influences of the British culture, and we're in between. We're like the bridging generation between both cultures, right? So we get the best of both. We get to celebrate Christmas and Diwali. Do you know what I mean? We have both,
and we celebrate equally.
We celebrate equally, exactly, because we realize we're a part of a community here, but we're part of the community here as well. So in the house and outside the house, we now are, we speak Gujarati and we speak English. Do you know what I mean? And that gives us, I think, such a depth that even speaking to a lot of people I know that are, from here, born here, British people on their side, it just intrigues us how you can progress and be so successful in whatever you decide to do, but still have such a grounding at home and, get up when your grandparents walk in or when older people walk in, and still have that community bond where everyone's ready to help out a drop of hat. Our family, and, you're part of that anyway, is when there is an event or a big event, everyone just turns up. You don't need to tell people, oh, I need help. They're all there, right?
Yeah, it's something that's kind of instilled in us. I don't know, maybe just because we're Indians and we've been brought up like that. I don't know if like the English people will see that, but they see that as, oh, you might be intruding on people. Whereas we like, oh, look, someone passes away. You first thing you go down, you make sure the family gets done whatever they need doing, give them a hand. Yeah. Nobody asks for an invite, you just turn up, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Even on birthday, nobody expects you to like be invited. We just turn up, right?
And for me, that's the beauty of, when sometimes you go through some dark moments, a lot of it's in your mind. There's never real dark moments that are happening, but you put these through your mind, and just knowing that there's all these people around you, there's this energy around you, that even if shit hits the fan and everything pulls up, you're not going that far, because there's too much goodness and so many hands around you to pick you back up. Say, bro, is everything okay? Okay, fine, get on your way. Do you know what I mean? There's so much of that it would almost be it would be a shame if we didn't use that to step up, not just for ourselves and be the light that we can be, but be the light for all the people around us that need their paths lighting up when they need it as well.
Oh yeah. Like they say, innit? The candle doesn't lose its brightness by lighting another candle, right?
100%.
And I think, like, especially in our family, is basically everybody is like that. Nobody has that jealous thinker. Oh, look, he's gone up in the world, or she's doing like this. We're like, yeah, if you're going up, we're gonna help you get even further, mate. We're there.
Yeah.
Whether it's like you need help with admin work or babysitting or cooking even a meal or something, I can remember sometimes when I've been like down on my luck, and like you guys are like, listen, mate, don't worry about that. We'll come pick you up. We've got to get something done. We'll be there for you.
And I think that whole energy around us. We have this. I see it almost like it's like a webbing, okay, that we are in. So we're suspended in the air, which is the love of people around us, which hold us up and keep us in this space. And because we're in that space, we only want to give back and give more, because we know when we give more, we receive more. In, you know, and it's like a symbiotic relationship, like the trees. Do you know what I mean? They give, we give. They give, we give. You know, and that support.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important just for the foundation, not even like my kids, you know, them being a part of that and seeing that, because even some of their friends now don't really have that. They don't really have many family around. But even my daughter was saying to me, she was, I can't wait till lockdown finishes, so then we can just go to a birthday party like normal, you know, where we see everyone, we can hug each other, you know. And that's a big thing, hugging people, because I'm quite a hugger. I hug people and I miss that. Do you know what I mean? Just saying hello in that way.
I know, like, you notice even like if you're walking in the street now, rather than just walking past someone like sensibly how we normally do,
you avoid them.
Yeah.
So going back to sort of life growing up, who do you think was the most influential in your life?
As in terms of like people around us or celebrities or
no people.
People around us. Just seeing. Do you know, like just even in our family. You, Lena, Bavit, I mean, your dad was a real big kind of an influencer, because you can remember when would be out playing, he'd be like, wait, go do some work, right? And do this and that. And I always remember your dad used to make us eat fruit.
Always.
Always, right? And I used to think, oh man, but now, you know, 40 years later, and our skin is amazing, right? We still got good black hair and that. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. I looked after us. You know, like one of the other people that you had on here, Sheila, I can remember that. I think it was, I can't remember, a family function. I don't know if it was Lindsay's wedding or your wedding or something. And she came down. I think her back was hurting, and Lynn said, "Oh, let's massage your back." And I wasn't a massage therapist then. I was just like, I knew whatever I knew, so I did it. And she was like, "You should really pursue this, because you know, you're really good. And if you're good, if you carry on doing it like this, you know, I'll be like your first customer and that." So I thought, wow, this is someone that actually doing what I wanted to do, telling me that I'm good, kind of really motivated me to go and do it. So yeah, just, you never know, like, you know, someone, you can say 2 little good words to somebody and that'll motivate them for the rest of their lives. Like, she probably just saying, you know, at that point, oh yeah, carry on, you know, do good, whatever.
And don't you think that, you know, 10 people before that could have said exactly the same thing and you didn't hear them? Just at the right time, the right words from the right person, and your ears were open and your eyes were open, you heard it and they went in.
Boom. It sunk in. It sunk in. Like you said,
sometimes that's all it takes, right?
That's all it takes, man. And that's why I say to people, like, you know, when people say, oh, I've got an idea of doing this, I was like, try it. That's my number one thing. Try it. I'm not going to guarantee that you're going to have success. I'm not going to say, like, you know, you're going to be amazing. I say try it. Because only if you try it, you're going to realize if you like it. Because in my head, I had all these ideas. Oh, yeah, I'm going to open up a car wash. I'm going to do like this. I'm going to do that. You know, I'm going to open up a wood joinery business. And I did it and I liked it. But then I got bored. It wasn't my passion. It was something I liked down here. But my passion was like doing the massage therapy work, getting people better was my passion. It is still my passion, okay? But I didn't see as that back then. I just thought, oh, you know what? One of the first things I tried was like t-shirt printing business. And I thought, oh, people wear t-shirts and make funny logos on there. And people are like, all right, it's funny, yeah, but I'm not going to wear that in the street. You know what I mean? It's like, so I was like, okay, it didn't work out. It's cool. Let it go. Because I think you have to try. Imagine, like, what can I say? Imagine, do you like ice cream? All right. Yeah. Let's go specifically. Yeah. You like chocolate ice cream, right?
Yeah.
And somebody will say, oh, yeah, I like chocolate ice cream. But I say, like, but have you tried all these different other varieties? Because they're like so many different types and all the different textures of these ice creams and everything else. But until you try the one that suits you the best, you know, you got to try every single one to find that one. So I was like, same with your job, right? Try every little thing that your heart wants to try. And once you find a fire within you that says, you know what, this is what I love. And, you know, and I tell people that it doesn't have to be forever. You might want to do something for, you know, a year, 2 years, 10 years. And then something else might come in there. You know what I mean? It's not like you have to be committed just because you train to be a lawyer. You don't have to be a lawyer for the rest of your life.
And I
Use
think
those skills.
and exactly what you said there, because it's, when people, it's like when they say at school, so what do you be when you grow up? I don't know. So okay, so then you have to sort of take subjects, and you have to take lessons to do that, right? So I remember going through school. What do you want to do? I don't know. Going through college, doing A levels. What do you want to do? I don't know. Going to university, finishing university. What do you want to do? I don't know. And then getting a call center job, and then going back to university, because then that kept my dad off my back for another year, doing a master, coming out of that hits, and still saying, I only did that just to buy your time. Do you understand? And then when I opened my business, and 20 years ago, when I did that, what I thought was, what? I like technology, I like gadgets. Let me just try. And that trying, because I was so interested in it, I tried a little bit more and a little bit more, and that I got, I've understood that now. I tried it more, and I think that's where passion comes in. When you sort of have something in your heart, you want to start learning more about it automatically, and that's how if you got to a point where you're like, actually, you know what? I just want to learn that one thing, that chocolate ice cream. If that was, that's fine, and that's it, done. I don't think it's a passion. It's just a metric of making money.
Yeah.
When it's a case of, actually, now let me understand pineapple ice cream, because I've done chocolate now. Let me understand, strawberry ice cream.
Yeah.
And then I think that is what drives you through. So when the times are low, when no one's coming in and no one's calling you, you're using that time to grow yourself, rather than thinking, oh, no one's coming in, so now what am I going to do? And start panicking. It's more case, okay, now I've got some time. Let me learn something new about the thing I'm doing to make me a better person, to give better service to the people out there.
Oh, definitely. Like, one of the things that I learned a long time ago is like, read, or now that the onset of internet, you can watch as much information as you want in your chosen field. I wake up each morning, and like YouTube just gives you an example, like, because I've already watched a head massage video, they'll show me another example, and I'll watch that for half an hour first thing in the morning. That is what I'll spend my first hour doing, is learning. Because you can watch something and you can just learn something, and then you follow all the other links. You can read about, this affects A, Y, and Z. If this nerve does this and this. So once you learned it, it doesn't necessarily stay in there forever, because you can go back and watch the same video like 10 times and you still pick up something new each time, because like you said, your eyes were open to that specific thing at that particular point. So yeah, every day, first thing, either I do my gratitudes, very important, just giving thanks for whatever you're grateful for. Grateful for my health every single day. First thing I start off with, like, just being grateful to be grateful to yourself for who you are, because a lot of people are punishing themselves every single day. You should have been better, you should have done this, you could have been amazing. But that's not going to get you there. By taking care of yourself, being loving towards yourself, is going to make you feel better, and that energy you carry out with you to everybody else that you meet. So I do the gratitudes. I love watching different videos, and I see videos from all around the world, and I kind of incorporate all the different techniques into my treatments, and people are like, wow, that feels amazing. No, I can't take credit for any of it. This is from generations back. These techniques have been going on, but I'm glad that they help you. So I always tell people, learn whatever you want to learn about, and open up that whole field.
Something you just went, 2 words you said, which is important to you in your morning routine. What does self-love mean to you?
So self-love, okay, so growing up, I don't know if it's that Indian thing or just in our family, you always thought that you're never good enough. Not as in like a person, but yeah, study harder, get better. You come home with A, why didn't you get an A+ kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. But forget academics. I'd say, look at yourself. Today, God's going to give you an opportunity to help somebody. Are you going to take that opportunity? God's going to give you an opportunity to do something a bit better. Are you becoming a man of excellence or a person of excellence to do better? For example, I don't know. Imagine all right, simple things like somebody drops litter in the street. Okay, that's their choice. But are you going to pick it up, or are you just going to sit there and curse, going, oh, you know what, that person's just being messy? Because you're not helping the world by cursing other people, right? But if you just get up and say, just chuck it in the bin, you can chuck it in front of them. They might think, oh shit, you know what, I should have done that. I'm sorry. They will think about, become a better person themselves. So every single day, somebody will probably need some kind of help or some kind of advice or some kind of information. If you're in a position to give it, are you going to give it? Because a lot of people be like, oh, well, do you know what? That's my knowledge. I paid good money for it. I'm going to keep it for myself. But I just think, you know what? If you spread that knowledge, the whole world benefits. If you only benefit, great for you. But if you can make the whole world a better place, how awesome is that?
And I think, like you said, there's so much information out there right now in terms of how to be, more connected to source. I believe in universe, like you said. You have a faith. I believe that we are here on a bigger purpose. Sometimes we don't know why, and we don't need to know why. We just be the best version of ourselves that we can be, and let the rest sort itself out. Just keep doing the things that you do and do them well. Do it with your heart and put all your energy into it, because that's what the world needs to see. I've said before, we are all cells in this one system, and this system called this universe. And each cell needs to be strong for that system and that body to work well. And all we are is one cell. So if we can be the strongest we can be, Hits can be the strongest he can be, we all work together, and we can then be the strongest we can be for the round us, and they can then be, and then it stretches out like a ripple to everyone out there. And I think that's how, if we can keep, having these conversations out and open. And this is another reason I did this, because, entrepreneurs like us, we have a different way of thinking. What I mean by that, we resourceful. We work out a way. When there's an issue, somehow we have to think about it, and we work out a way. Yeah, we don't see it as a hurdle. We find a way around it, above it, under it, but we get around it, right? And I think that's what the world needs to see right now. We're in a lockdown situation, and some people have found it really hard. But the people I've been talking to, and the people that are around me, like yourself, have said, you know what? It's probably the best thing that's happened in terms of allowing us to really reflect on our life, slow down, and actually say what is actually important. Because when we're going at 100 miles per hour, when do we actually get time to reflect and think about what's around us?
We don't, isn't it? I mean, like we said, in the 20 years I've been doing this, this is the longest break I've ever had, right? Some days when you get up and you think, oh, you know what? I've not worked today. I've not done any clients. And you think, oh no, I better do double tomorrow. You're always kind of like beating yourself up, like, oh yeah, better get everybody in. But now you're like, the world doesn't need you. You're not as important as you thought you were. That makes you kind of really humble and think, right, actually, I could be stopped at any point. This whole thing could just go pear shape, and nobody really cares, eh?
Yeah.
Like you said, you have to be really, really resourceful. And I think, again, from our Indian heritage, we've been through some hard times, and we kind of like persevered and we got through it. And then you find these other talents that have started kind of emerging and blossoming through this hard time. Where now I've seen people baking stuff on the Instagram and stuff.
I started cooking.
Sewing
in my life.
Yeah.
I started cooking. I've never cooked in my life.
Man, I started boiling water, making cornflakes milk now. But yeah, we find other skills, other skill sets, and then we kind of like exploring these things. Do you know what? I just like, I didn't think I was funny. I just like make random comments here and there, and people will laugh. And then I found, putting them to certain videos, people are like, oh yeah, this is kind of funny. So I found a new niche in the market of like just making funny videos, which it's might not get me anywhere, but I'm enjoying doing it.
And it'll make someone smile.
And
it'll make
just getting text messages and like just messages on Instagram and Facebook saying, oh my God, I found your video. It's like made my day.
And I think
helping us get through this lockdown.
And I told you about the time when one of your videos, I'll hook Hits' details up on the show notes afterwards, and you can follow his Instagram because he does some funny stuff on there. But there's one he sent with Rishi Sunak, the Chancellor, and he voiced over his own words over it, and it was absolutely hilarious. And it's funny because how close me and Hits are, but I never got it from Hits. I got it from my brother-in-law in Leeds, who got it from his sister who's in Luton, and it's like made its way around the whole community. And that's how it works, right?
Yeah, do you know what? That is it. Like, one of your posts could go all around the world, and then it'll come to like the person. Like, Bhavik is literally used to be my neighbor, but you're not a million miles away right now. And, but your information can go right around the world before it gets to you. And another thing people keep asking me, like, how'd you get so many followers and blah blah blah. I said, don't worry about followers. Yeah, they don't put dollars in your pockets, right? You worry about the next person that walks through your shop, your business, your door, and you give them the best service possible, and they will find you 10 other clients. You don't worry about, oh, I need to have 10,000 followers or 100,000 followers. I had 0 followers and I'm still busy every single day, right? It's like it just doesn't work out like that.
And
I think people just think, oh yeah, numbers mean happiness. It really doesn't.
And I think if you need to put your own self-worth in things like likes and followers, then there's something already missing.
If
you can
doing it for the right reason.
100%. If you can just share your energy, share your love, share your thoughts, share your feelings. If you want to, if you don't want to, that's cool as well. But if you do, and you put it out there, let it go. Put it out there and let it go. Whatever happens from there, because even some people watch from afar. They see what you're putting out there. And if you want to express some energy, you may never get a response, but somewhere along the line, it is touching someone. And if you keep it up and you do it over a period of time, those little drips start coming back to you. And it's even within whatever profession you're in, whatever career you're in, just keep, the next customer, just look after them the best you can. And just work on that and concentrate on that. And then once that's done, thank you, goodbye, move on to the next one. And that over time, it's like I say, just when you do what you say, do what you say you're going to do, when you say you're going to do it, and if there's an issue, help them out or sort it out. Those 3 things, you can stick to those 3 things, everything else will work out, because the universe needs you.
Oh, and just being honest.
Yeah.
A lot of times you could say, all right, for example, right, somebody might say, oh, I need you to do a certain thing. I don't know. Let's just pick, I don't know. Help. It's all right. Imagine you want, your friend rings you up and say, oh, Hits, can you come and help me move my sofa? And you got like 100 jobs to do. Instead of just saying, oh yeah, I'll try later. Just say, look, I've got these things to do, but if I get time, I'll come and help you. The same in the business. Don't promise stuff which that you're going to find difficult, because the customer will appreciate that, because they can look for an alternative source, or they might be willing to wait for you. But that you're giving them that power to say, all right, you know what, it's your choice. And especially in like treatments, right, there's only so many you can do in a day, and you just have to tell people, look, I've done four clients today. I'm not going to have my full energy, so I'd rather give you full energy tomorrow if you can wait. But if you're dying, you've got aches and pains, this is the situation I'm going to be in. It's entirely up to you if you want to be, the 5th client and maybe not get 100%. And if they're happy with that, that's cool. But, I'll definitely try and give them whatever I can at that point to make them feel better. But you can't heal everybody in one go. It's, neuron.
So if someone, here's a hypothetical question. If someone rewound your life, okay, and then met you again when you were 18, okay, and they said, Hits, this is what's going to happen in your life up to this moment I'm talking to you today, okay? So this, you're going to go to this, you're going to do this, and this is how it's going to happen, or to here. What would you have said?
Well, what would I said to my 18-year-old self?
If I came to you and said, this is how your life's going to be up to 45, 46 years, and you're going to be, me and you're going to be online, we're going to do a conversation, we're going to be talk about this time, and these are all the things we've talked about, and these are all things you've done in your life, and this is how it's panned out from that moment. What would you have said?
I would have said, no way, that wouldn't have happened. That's not going to happen. Because you're 18. This is the 18-year-old me, right? I'm like, do you know what? I'm gonna be really like a millionaire. I'm gonna live in this fat mansion. I'm gonna have these cars. I'm gonna have like the hottest wife ever. I don't know about wife. I think I might have had a few girlfriends or whatever, right? But I thought that's what would have made me happy. I don't have any of those things, and I'm like mega happy. It's like
And
you don't.
it's funny how when I do sort of like talking to young people and doing some mentoring and coaching, and I said, you know what, if someone put me in my life at 18 years old and said these are all things that can happen up to this age, I would have said, first of all, never. Secondly, I ain't capable of doing all those things. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you know, all the things that started, all the way life has panned out. But thirdly, because you only can draw upon the experience that you have at that age, you can't forward project something that you don't even know, because it's a person you turn into on that journey of going through this, right?
Yeah.
So that person you become can look back and say, actually, do you know what? I understood how that's possible. But that person at that time can only draw upon the 18 years of experience, which is
Yeah.
nothing. Now, you know,
Nothing.
we look back at life and that's fuck all. We didn't know anything, even though we thought we knew the world, we knew everything at that point, right? We knew nothing. And then when we look forward, we can only use those small eyes to look forward. But if we then now look back with the life that we've led, we're like, actually, do you know what? I reckon I could have probably did more if I actually concentrated and focused a little bit more rather than just bumming around. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But you know, it was fun bumming around, right?
It was.
But then like you said, there comes to a point where you think, right, let's stop this and get on and do something better. But like you said, I think you have to go through all those tiny little experiences that we went through to make us who we are today. Like, if you told me back then, these are all the hardships that you're going to go through, I would have said, nah, I can't handle it. But once you're thrown into hardship and you learn how to become so resourceful and kind and caring and understanding, and the other thing is accepting. You got to accept that you're in this situation. You got to accept help from other people. And it's not because you're weak. It's because those people have knowledge beyond what you have. They've been through it. And I think that's another thing that I found quite difficult growing up. Like, oh, I should be like the man. I should know everything, right? Whereas, well, like you said, we don't know jack all until you've actually been through situations, and then you learn. So when you've been through it, God will put you in a situation to help somebody, you know, bring another guy up. So are you going to use that information or that knowledge to bring those people back up? So yeah.
And I think those for me, for sure, I've been very open and shared about things that have happened to me. And it's those moments of pain and it's those moments of crisis that create a catalyst that made me shift my life and created the person you see in front of you today. Do you know what I mean? And I know I am so grateful. So at the time, it was the hardest and the deepest and the darkest moments of my life, for sure. But coming out of that and changing my whole perspective, my whole world, I was living in this, the society, what society dictated in success, the cars, the house, the business, the money, etc. And once I was behind the mask and I was broken, that's when it was like, actually, you know what? I have not put any investment in myself. So building up my health, building up my mindset, being with people, those things were the things that created this version of me. And this version of me is probably the strongest emotionally, spiritually, physically, and psychologically I've ever been. And I can't see myself going, I can only see myself getting stronger. And it's from those moments of pain that created that. And I would always say that is probably the hardest time, but probably the most time that I've learned the most, become who I am. So I can actually now say to someone, do you know what? Those moments of pain, first of all, they're created for us. And why they're created for us is because the universe knows we're strong enough to deal with them. And they know we need to create some more strength out of you. So now we're going to put you through some shit. Once you come out the other side and you look back, you're like, first of all, you're way stronger than you were before you went in. But secondly, is you can then, like you said, impart that knowledge of what you went through. So hopefully, even though I'm grateful I went through it, I don't want anyone else to go through it to learn what I learned. If someone can learn just by listening and opening their mind and becoming that without going through, that's great. But so for some reason, I see so many times of people around me that when they go through a crisis, that's when the backs to the wall, thinking comes through and their true sense comes out. It's like when they say you squeeze an orange, orange juice comes out.
And just yeah.
Orange, right?
Exactly. Well, I always tell people, like, when you're going through a tough time, don't see it as a tough time. Just see it as a learning time.
Yeah.
And like it's gonna hurt. It's not gonna feel good. It's not gonna be a nice sensation at that particular time. But when you look back on it, in a few months' time, you probably won't even remember.
And,
You just
like
you'll
they
get
say,
through it.
and like they say, it stops raining at some point and the sun starts to shine, right?
But I say to people, you know what? The sun is always shining. You just got to look past the clouds, right?
100%.
It's
It's always
always
there. It's just behind it, right?
just behind it. So once you get through this, when the rain stops, you'll see that sun just beams through.
So what, like sort of looking forward to yourself. So you have obviously ideas and things that still are yet to happen for you.
Mhm.
What things do you still need to sort of master, grow, or learn to become the best version of yourself in your eyes?
Okay, so I hate paperwork. Right. So, and it's part of the process, isn't it? It's part of the job. You got to get down and do it. So yeah, you just got to be like more committed to doing it. Because what I do, procrastinate until the last minute, and then Inland Revenue's got that. Yeah, you got 31 days to pay your thing, and rush everything together. But I always say, you know what? Every end of the week, I'll do my paperwork, I'll do it, and then it's like, oh yeah, the whole month's gone. So definitely, you've got to stop procrastinating and just put that into action.
And what about in life?
In life, oh, that's a big question, isn't it? Do you know what this now more than ever? I want to travel because you can't. Like, I want to go and see this and do that before it's all gone. So yeah, definitely take more time out. Like, instead of just, oh yeah, I've got to work my 48 weeks a year. Like, well, why don't we just work what we need to and see the world for what it really is at all these different times? So
And
definitely want to go and see more of the world while we can, when we can.
and what are, do you know like something that many people don't know about you that you do that you're proud of?
That I do. Don't know. I think just be charitable. Just try and give where you can, what you can, and it's not always about money. There's times where you can just give your time, give your knowledge, spread that little bit of happiness wherever you can. Just do your little bits.
And you've talked about faith a few times in our conversation. First of all, what's the importance of faith to you? And how did it serve you in your life to be the version of yourself that's talking to me today?
So I think, do you know what? Growing up, you're brought up a Hindu, right? Because you're born in a Hindu family, and up until I had my skiing accident, actually, I didn't really have like a faith in God. I just knew there was a God, and you're supposed to pray and this and that. But after my accident, I found myself properly praying, as in terms of like begging God, just fix me and I'll be so good. And God knew I was a lying little shit, right? And he still fixed me. But one of the things I said is, like, if you fix me, I'll try and help as many people as I can. And I'll probably, let God down a few times, but I tried to do my best along the way. And I found that maybe not a specific religion, as in a Hindu or Muslim or a Sikh and stuff, but I started reading all the little books and spiritual books as well. And I found, like you said, we're all a part of a bigger thing, a bigger being. And the way I looked at it was, when I cut my finger, all those little blood cells bleed out. And there's billions of them that come out. So imagine yourself as just one of those cells within this body of the universe or the world. You're just that one cell. And if you're a good cell, you float around the body doing, you nourish the arms, the legs, and everything else, okay? But if you're a bad cell, you become a cancerous cell, and then you start deteriorating, damaging, and you start converting other cells to look like you and be like you. So I thought, you know what, let's just try and be a good, healthy cell, be the best I can. And when other people see it, if they want to mirror that, that's, we've done something good for the whole of humanity, not just for yourself. So yeah, I definitely think my type of faith, it's not I wouldn't call it a religion as such, is just love for each other. And I think that is mirrored in all of the major religions. They all say, first thing is take care of your neighbor, or love your brother, or be good to one another, and it's as simple as that. If you can just help each other, because one day you're going to need help, and I've needed help, plenty of times throughout my life. So I'm sure there's going to be more times where I'm going to need it. So, but if you're carry on dishing out the help, I'm sure somebody's going to be there for you when you need it as well.
And I think, you'd agree, it's not about me, it's about we, right?
Yeah, it's about the whole of us.
Yeah.
Like you said, the trees exchange their oxygen and carbon with us. We can't live without them. They can't live without us. And same with each other. We think, oh, we can live without someone, but their contribution could be just as important as yours. The person next to you could be the person that's curing cancer, or the person next to you will be the one that's donating blood for your parents or something. So everybody is valuable. God didn't put you here by accident. There's a grand design, and like an orchestra, like every single instrument has its time to peak and play. The greatest orchestra conductor, God or the universe, whatever you want to call it, is just playing with us every single minute of our days. And when it's our time to shine, it'll be our time to shine. And when it's our time to just be in the background.
And the chances of us being here on this planet as human beings is so slim and so distant that unless we see life as a gift, which it is, because there's so many little permutations that could happen that you were never going to be born, there's a reason that we're here, and we may never know. Like I said, we may know, we may never know, but understand that we're here for a reason. The game needs us. Every piece, which is every single human on this planet, has a reason to be here for a bigger purpose. And like I said, we may never know, but it's having the faith that we are just going to be the strongest we can be, and let the rest just help sort itself out.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's so true. We're all here for a reason, even Trump. Do you know what I mean? But it's those kind of people that make you a better person, because you can look at them like, do I mirror that person, or do I become better than that person? So even when you think, oh, you know what, why has God put in such a horrible person in my life, giving me all these horrible situations with this person, but it's for you to learn, like, you know what, you can be better than this.
And I tell you what, like Trump gets a bad rep. But one thing I sort of saw about him, or sort of looked into him, because while the sort of elections were going on, I was like, this guy has come from nowhere. He's not even a politician. He's just had a thought in his mind. I want to be the most powerful person in the world, and he put together a plan to make that happen, right? And it happened. And for a guy to be personally in debt of like $9 billion and get himself out. Well, I swear I could probably learn some of that, and probably people in general could probably learn something from him. Do you know what I mean? It's just a facade that people see. But if you look behind it, there's some, you can't get to that position just being a monkey. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's there.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely got some bargaining skills somewhere, right?
So what would you say? What would you say is your superpower?
My superpower. Well, apart from like fixing people.
If it's fixing people, if you believe your energy and use your healing properties to fix people, then that will be superpower. Like I've always said, my superpower is my patience. I am, I give so much patience, and I have so much patience for my life, but other people's lives as well. And I try and live my life by that, so people can live their life by that. So what do you think?
Definitely patience with you. I sometimes think, oh, you're so like children, like, when we see you in situations, I think I would have just kicked off, but I think you definitely have that skill. Mine, I don't know. I think I'm one of those people that just likes to help where I can. Just get your hands dirty. It doesn't matter,
What I see in you all the time is, like I said, as I got older, I feel people now. I don't actually see or hear them anymore. I feel them. And what I feel, there's a light that comes from you, because you have a light of, like I said, the healing side is one thing, but an energy of giving, an energy of love, and an energy of sharing. And those things combined create you. Do you know what I mean? So combined, I don't think it's even one thing, it's a few things combined that create that version of you. So sometimes you can probably downplay yourself, but I'm sure there's people that watch this that would say, you know what, that's 100% true, and that's what I see.
Oh, yeah. Do you know, sometimes it's hard to like put the magnifying glass on yourself, isn't it? And you'll pick stuff from other people. I look at people and go, oh yeah, do you know what, that person has such this quality and that quality and everything else. But then you forget sometimes you're only seeing those qualities because you have maybe a few remnants of that within yourself as well.
And is it a case of if you want to see in the world, if you want to see more things that you want to see, be yourself first. So you want to see happy people, be happy first yourself. You want to see more giving, give yourself first. You're never going to see. It's like the universe will create a mirror up to show you what you are, and that's what you notice and see around you, and those receptors come on. So always look at yourself first. You will have control of yourself first. No one else. You can control only how you respond to something or how you react or think about it. You can't control anything outside you. You can just how you respond to it, right?
You're your own remote control, aren't you? You just control yourself. And what you're saying is true. Like, I chose to be happy at some point in my life, because I used to go around and go, oh, that person's so miserable and that person's so this, and this. And I was thinking, well, do you know what? If I'm picking up their such, bad qualities, I'm probably contributing to them being like that.
Yeah.
Because we're interacting constantly.
Yeah.
And I can't remember which book it was, but somewhere it was like, how you choose to see things is a reflection of you, not of them. So I thought, all right, you know what? I'm just going to choose no drama. That was my biggest thing. No drama. I'm going to choose happiness. And those kind of like, yeah, I'm going to stick to that. And then people will be like, oh, this problem happened. I was like, that wasn't a problem. It was a good thing because this, and this came out of it. And they're like, oh, how can you look at it like that? I was like, well, I just choose to look like that. And the amount of times when you think, oh, I'm just going to choose to be happy. And for example, I was at the airport, Houston airport. This was back then when when all brown skin was considered terrorist looking, right? And the guy looking at me, I was like, oh, this guy's got it in for us, right? Because we're just brown skinned. And I got to the where they put the passport in, and he shouted, escort. I was like, what's going on here? These two guards came, grabbed me, and took me to like this holding room at the back of the airport.
Yeah.
So I just sat there thinking, why is this happening now? Like, what's going on? But again, I just sat there and I thought, you know what, actually, I can choose to be in that negative energy because I kind of, as soon as I saw that guard, I thought, he looks racist. And I brought my energy down, right? So it's probably my fault. So I sat there and I thought, you know what? All right, I'm just going to think of all the people that I love and all the caring people in the world. Because when you think of them, you automatically start vibrating at a higher energy. So I just sat there and like literally they kept me there for 3 hours, right? And then these two immigration officers came out and they like called my name. So I got up and then went into like another like interview room, sat there and like, they just go, let me just ask you something. Do you know this person? And he showed me a picture of some Indian guy, right? And I was like, bro, I don't know who that is. And then the second guy goes, he kind of looks like you. I was like, mate, to you, all as Indians look the same, right? And he started laughing. And the first guy started laughing as well. I was like, look, I can see where you're thinking, right? And he goes, all right, cool. And he goes, oh, just because, his name is Hitesh Patel. I was like, but this is like the John Smith of like the Indian world. If you go onto Google now and put in Hitesh Patel, it would be like 8 million hits, right? So he goes, okay. He goes, it's just because like, I go, is he wanted for something? He goes, he's overstayed his visa. So just making sure like it's not you. I go, oh, look, trust me, man, that's not me. We look completely different. And I was just having like jokes with them. And I think they picked up like that light energy. I wasn't down. I wasn't feeling bad about it. And they were like so nice to me from that. They're like, all right, so where are you going? So I told them I'm going to my niece's wedding. I said, come to the wedding, man. And, you'd be like the first like, people at this wedding. They'll be like shocked and that. They're like, oh, thanks for the offer and all that kind of stuff. But I said, look, I've been here 3 years and I missed my connecting flight. He goes, where are you going to? I said, oh, I've got to get to Waco. And he's like, no problem. He took me down to like American Airlines desk, and they're like, put this guy on the next flight to Waco. And the woman goes, oh, I don't think there's a flight till tomorrow morning. Right? So he's like, oh, okay. He goes, let's see what we can do for you, right? And there's like a connecting flight that isn't supposed to be like for passengers coming in from another airport. And they're like, we can call that in, and because that's its end destination is Waco. Because you might have to wait an hour. I was like, but it beats waiting until the next morning, right? So there was just me, my cousin that flew with me, and one of the airline workers on that flight.
Wow.
So just three of us, like it was like having your own private plane. And the guy that was working on the flight, he would just finished his shift and he was going back to Waco to home. So he was just getting transported home. And he got our suitcases and everything. Because don't you worry, mate. You sit and chill. So it's like, you know, God sent you your own private plane to get to this wedding is like awesome.
And I think what you said at the start of that, where you said, no one makes you happy, you choose to be happy. No one makes you sad, you choose to be sad. No one makes you angry, you choose to be angry. And as soon as you get that, you realize this is in my hands. How I feel at any moment in my time. The guy's just cut me off in his car and he's cut up my lane. It's my choice at this point what to do. I can just slow down and think, you know, guy's probably having a bad day, let him go. Or thinking maybe he's just ignorant and he still has a lot to learn, so I'll let him learn in his own, you know. Or you can get angry and then you realize all you're doing is poisoning yourself and your body. There's nothing else. No one else is going to suffer apart from you. So going to the Buddhist center when I was going through such a deep and dark time, I found that was the first thing they were teaching us in terms of it's all in your head. You decide. Once you realize it's your choice, you realize that the whole world opens up because everything is your choice.
Everything is your choice. You know, whether you get up in the morning and, you know, get on with your day, or do you want to just lie in bed and waste it? It's your choice. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says to you. If you choose to do something, you do it. No one forces you to, like, you know, I don't know, open up a bottle of vodka and get drunk and sit in, you know, on your sofa all day. Or somebody could say, all right, you know what, here's a bottle of vodka, you can go out and sell it, you can make cocktails, you can make money. It's your choice whether you how you use your resources. Everybody gets given like resources,
and
use it.
And the saying that springs to mind is your life is 100% your choice and your responsibility. So live it and surround yourself with the best versions of everything you need to be around you to be the best version of yourself, right? So as we sort of enter the last parts of this conversation, and like I said, I can talk for ages with you. It's always like that.
Fly day.
Yeah, so what we've done is we're going to fast forward your life, right? We're going to move you to the last moments. These are the last moments of your life, you know. You've lived till 200 years old. You've done everything you want to do. You know, you've helped as many people as you physically can, and you've reached an age. You might be lying down, you might be sitting down, but you don't actually have any energy to speak anymore. All you have is a pen and a paper and to write 3 words. And those 3 words have first of all helped you resonate with you all your life, but also you hopefully are the people that see those words. It will help them, and maybe if they put that into their life and practice them, maybe it can help them a little bit more. What do you think those 3 words would be for you?
I think take care of yourself, because you can't pour from an empty cup, empty jug, right? You got to fill yourself up with the best knowledge, the best health, the best energy that you can, and take that energy and spread it as far as you can, but don't wear yourself thin. You know, a lot of the times, especially in the starting of our careers, we're like killing ourselves and we're not getting any further. We're just like draining ourselves. And slowly I learned, like, you know what, take care of yourself first. And it's not like being selfish, it's being understanding enough that this body has a limited amount of energy at any one point, right? Limited amount of resources to use at any one point. So use those carefully, take care of yourself, and then be as good as you can to everybody else. You know what? One of my clients, he's a heart specialist, and he told me this. He goes, the air that we breathe in is only 4% oxygen, all right? Only 4%. Out of that 4%, 3 of that percent your heart will take. So 75% will go to your heart, in the blood around. Everything else is useless, and the other 25%, is used by the rest of your body. Okay, but it knows that take care of the heart, take care of your heart, both like emotionally as well as physically. So eat right, think right, feel right. Because a lot of the times, when you start hating on yourself, you're breaking down the heart's cell structure. They start to deteriorate. And he goes, it's amazing when you look at a heart, how different each one will feel and look depending on how that person thinks of themselves. Because your thoughts directly affect how your cells behave and interact. So yeah, take care of yourself first, and then use that care. You'll naturally spread it to everybody else. Because if you become caring for yourself, you become caring for the rest of the world. Because each and every single part of the world is a part of you.
Yeah, fully agreed. And all the people I choose to surround myself with, which is people like yourself and people that thinking this way. And I think it is so helpful when we can have these conversations to share this information, because the world needs to see more people like us that thinking this way, because then it just creates a better environment for all of us, right?
All of us, yeah, definitely.
So this podcast is called Bigger Than the Hustle, and right now I'm going to make you bigger than the world. Okay, I've got a mic, and that mic is connected to 7.58 billion people. Every single one of them can hear you. They can understand what you're saying. There's no language barrier. They're all awake and they're all listening. So I can afford you 30 seconds, because this thing is costing me a lot of money for every second. So I'll afford you 30 seconds to share a message that you'd like everyone in the world to hear. What would your message be?
Oh, simple message. As Mother Teresa said, you might not be able to help everyone. You might not be able to feed everyone, but just feed that one person you can. And doesn't necessarily mean feeding food. Feed them your energy, feed them your knowledge, feed them your goodness. And if everybody just took care of one person, everybody in the whole world will be taken care of. Because it just needs one person to help one person, and that rippling effect will go out to the rest of the world. So do what you can today to help that one person and make this world a better place.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Hits.
Oh, you're welcome.
I acknowledge you, Hits, because I've known you for a long time. I've seen you grow. I've seen how you've turned up to earth. I've seen you become the man you've become. The amount you share, the amount of information you have, the amount of love you give, the amount of time you give away, and the amount of growth you've put in yourself and invested in yourself to be the version of yourself. You also bring in humor into it all, because we all need to be reminded that life is fun as well, man. So just
that's it, yeah,
right. And I know I'm going to know you all my life. So good luck on everything you're doing. We'll be doing lots more together, and there'll be lots more. I'm building a studio as well, so I'm going to invite you along there, and we'll do this face to face as well.
Awesome.
So what I'm going to do as well, guys, if you want to follow Hits, watch his Instagram posts, because they are really funny. I'm going to hook up his details, his ID, everything on the show notes, how to follow him. And till next week, just always remember this as an ending. Big energy leads to big thoughts. Big thoughts lead to big ideas. Big ideas lead to big actions. Big actions lead to big life. So keep thinking big. Until next week, see you. Bye-bye.
But then you always have to go back to that belief and the reason why you did it in the first place. And that why is really important. And you can't forget that, because when times are hard, you've always got to go back to that and remember why you did it. And it almost gives you that extra bit of fuel again.